Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, December 14th, one day after my girl Taylor Swift's birthday. And this is the Jess Strom Show, and I'm here with my very special guest, Miss Deja Monet Terrell. Deja, for the people that don't know you out there, why don't you just introduce yourself? Say your name, where you're from, major, and just maybe something about yourself.
Okay, my name is Deja Terrell. I'm from Reading, PA. I'm a redshirt junior, and I just like to have fun.
All right, well, there you go. So, Deja, let's talk about something. You know, for the viewers that don't know, last year was a really tough year for you. Early on, basically before our first season opener, conference challenge, had a big-time injury, ACL injury. And this is the year that you're coming back. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about just maybe some of the excitement, some of the challenges, some of the things that maybe people don't know that come along with that kind of process?
Well, definitely with this injury, I found out a way to love the game without being a dominant player on the court when it comes to scoring. Like when I first started, I was really good, and I'm like, oh, I'm just so happy I'm scoring, my team's winning. But this year, I've learned to love the game in different ways and be a leader in different ways. Yep. And I think that was one of the biggest lessons that I've learned so far with this injury. But some excitement, I was excited to see what my team would do without me. Like, I was just excited to see those girls go out there and show them who CalU is, no matter who's on the court with them.
Yeah, and obviously last year with a big championship, facing a lot of adversity, had a lot of injuries.
Yes.
What was that tough to kind of sit down and watch? Like, I don't think people understand what it's like to be a basketball player.
Oh my God.
Well, apparently you're, a very,
Sorry.
You're probably, maybe people are watching live. I don't know. Maybe they see you and they're calling you. But is it challenging to basically have an identity? For a long time, basketball is kind of your thing, and that to feel like kind of it was ripped away from you. Was that challenging for you?
Yes, because I really didn't know myself outside of basketball. I was always like Deja, the girl that plays basketball, like All-American Deja Terrell. And this year, and specifically last year, I learned that it's so much more to me than just basketball.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think most people that know you would say that, about you. So let's go to this year. Really good start for the Vulcans here, 7-1. Played a huge game versus a nationally ranked team in Fairmont State. Tell me what you like so far about this year's squad, which is totally different than, all the squads. Each year is a new year. Each year is a new team. Tell us about what you like about this squad.
This squad this year, I love that we're so diverse, but we come together as a team. And some days one player might have 20, and the next game they might have 3, but somebody else on the team has the 20 that they didn't get to drop. We all take turns with getting the ball and just playing our role. I really like that about this team. Everybody plays their role and does their job well.
That's awesome. And for you, Deja, what are you, as you go game by game, which I think is what we always stress, like you take it each day, you're not looking forward. What are you most looking forward to, like to the next game, when we play Shippensburg?
Not fouling out and getting in foul trouble. That is what I'm looking forward to, staying on that court and helping my team as much as I can on the court.
And do you think that naturally just comes from you want to be a shot blocker?
Yes.
Yep. That's like your forte. I mean, you're tall. You've probably done that your whole entire life. And you just are eager just to say, get out of here.
Yep.
And so how can you change that?
I just have to work on myself. I have to learn that I'm tall. I'm 6'1" with long arms. I have a 6'4" wingspan. Put my arms straight up.
You have a 6'4" wingspan. I'm not sure if I've ever realized the length of that. I mean, I know it's long. Holy smokes.
So just go straight up. Not too many people can score over that.
Yep, for sure. And, there's a confession that I think we both have to make to everybody. We were just discussing this prior to the show, totally off basketball related, but you and I did not know the 12 days of Christmas.
Nope.
I mean, that's really bad. I know 5 golden rings down. You said partridge in a pine tree. I want the viewers to know that where have we been? I mean, we've been on this earth for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And we don't know the 12.
That was one of those songs you just...
You think you know.
You just hum it.
Yeah, but we all think we know.
Yeah.
But then when it comes down to it, you don't know it.
No.
Kind of crazy. I thought that was fun to throw that in the holiday. But getting back to hoops, ourselves ranked 17th in the country. I think that might go up a little bit after this week. You never know. To me, that doesn't mean anything. To you, it might mean something. But what do you think that we need to do to be an elite program this year?
I think us girls, we need to definitely play all 4 quarters hard. We can't go out there and give a team 1 quarter. We have to play every single quarter and make it our game every quarter, not wait until the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter. We have to go out there and play hard every single quarter.
Yeah. And for you, maybe you take things differently or handle things differently. What was, being 7-1, what do you think was a growing lesson from going away on the road down to Bowie? And I want to bring it back up and keep talking about it, but maybe because you're new on the show here, what was a growing lesson for you from that game?
That game, the Bowie game, it really just taught me that we need to humble ourselves a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Yes, we came out strong this season. We were beating teams by almost 20, but it's not going to happen like that every game unless we show up and do what we need to do.
Absolutely. And we have been saying that, to be a great team, it's every possession of every game. It's every possession of every practice. How do you get yourself? Our practices can be pretty tough. They can be physically challenging, mentally challenging. In terms of, just being on point, rotating quickly. What do you do to prepare yourself every day to be able to practice?
I just make sure that I push myself. I'm coming off of an injury, so I have to work hard. I have to catch up. So every practice, I try to get better and better because what happens in practice will translate into the games.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first from herself, Miss Deja Monet, always laughing. She's crazy, but she's really fun to be around. And we will be right back with our main lady, Miss Jess Strom.
Come on out to the Convocation Center and support men's and women's basketball for the 2023-2024 season. The Vulcans are looking to put the PSAC on notice this year after both teams are picked towards the top of the preseason conference rankings. There will be 13 men's games and 16 women's games at home. Follow calvulcans.com for any update. All games will be live on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC network.
Come out. Our team's going to be very exciting. We have a lot of good players. I think we play the game the right way, very up-tempo. I think we're going to be able to score some points. I think our defense is going to be great. Our guys have great energy.
Come to our games. I think once you get here, you'll really like what you see. I think it's exciting. These players put in a ton of time, a ton of effort to put out a good product on the floor. And like I said, I think it's super exciting, and you'll really want to come back.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates the athletic and academic excellence of its student athletes. Last year, over 3,800 achieved at least a 3.25 GPA to earn recognition as a PSAC Scholar Athlete. Athletically, 75 PSAC teams qualified for the NCAA Championships. Champions on the field, champions in the classroom, making the PSAC proud.
And welcome back to the Jess Strom Show. I'm with the name of the show, Jess Strom. Today, Jess, how are we doing?
Great.
Great.
It's a great day.
It's a great day to be a Vulcan, isn't it?
Always.
Always, each and every day. That's what we always say. So before we get into basketball, have we made any jumps? What percentage are we at with Christmas?
Lots of jumps. Maybe
90%?
No. 80%.
80%. That was a big jump from last week.
Yeah.
So you've been doing some shopping.
Online.
Online only.
Couple stores online though.
Yeah, it's just so much easier to be online. But I have a big fear. I don't know. Well, I'm sure you're not surprised at this. When I get a notification that my package is delivered and I'm not home, it makes me uneasy that someone's going to steal because
You live in a bad neighborhood, yeah.
Well, I live in an awesome neighborhood, but I just read too much. I read about all these people taking packages from my front door. Like, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. What a Grinch. Who does that? Scrooges.
Maybe they need it more than you.
True story. Let's just leave it at that. But anyway, we are up to 80%, feeling good. And isn't it crazy? We have 2 games before the holiday break and then only 3 games in the month of December.
Time is always flying. Yes.
Ticking. It's ticking. I think Steve Miller said it best, is it? Time keeps on ticking into the future. Is that it?
You're asking the wrong person.
I think I'm there, but I could be wrong. So it's going quick, but let's backtrack it a little bit. We've had one game since our last show, playing number 10 team in the country, Fairmont State University, who I think is one heck of a team. Down 16 in the first half, came back to win. Tell us your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I think it was a little different too. We had a long time to prepare. So we watched them a lot more than I think typically. I thought we knew them pretty well. I thought we were excited to play. You know, I thought we were prepared. I thought we were ready. And I think we might have had a little bit of nerves. You know, we were missing some shots we don't typically miss.
Doing some things we don't typically do.
Yeah, I think, you know, we came out a little bit flat, obviously. Down 16, but I agree. Fairmont is a very good team. So if you take a possession off, they take advantage. They make shots. They're smart. They can pass the ball. They play tough defense. Like I give them a lot of credit.
Yeah,
they're a good team.
And we knew that going in.
Right.
Like there was, all eyes on film in the locker room. Everybody knew that they were a challenging team, undefeated, and playing against some great teams.
Yeah, I think our players respected them too. You know, I don't think it was a case of we went in thinking that we were
No
better.
way.
I don't think that. But you know, then we went into halftime down 16. But I am so proud of the way we responded, because that was kind of a breaking point. Like, you can go back out there in the second half and get down 30 quickly. You know, that happens. Or you can fight. And I think we fought. And this isn't the first time we had to come back. You know, I think we put ourselves in that position at Millersville also. We had to fight back. But I think against a very formidable opponent in Fairmont, that's challenging. Like, you have to get stops because they're going to score, you know. And I think we just came out with a different mentality in the second half, which I was super proud of. But I'm so glad we did, because now we know we have that mentality. You know, we can play like that when we choose to play like that.
And you have been saying that. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to getting down 16. It's a choice. Do you really believe that?
Yeah,
wholeheartedly.
I really do. Like, you're going to miss shots, obviously. I think that's not a choice, because I don't think anyone would choose to miss shots.
Yeah, no one would say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to miss this one, and you know, maybe I'll make my last three.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not. But defensively, effort-wise, that's just you choosing to do those things. That's why we put so much emphasis on those things, because we're going to miss shots. There's going to be days where we're probably throwing the ball away a little bit. You know, we're playing with a freshman point guard. We're going to turn the ball over sometimes. But those things that you can control, you have to control
Like
always.
the defensive attitude and effort.
Yeah,
and
your
energy.
effort, your energy, your communication, like, those are intangible things that you can choose to do or to not do. And I think in the first half, unknowingly maybe we were choosing not to do those things. And I think once it was brought to our attention, we did choose to do those things in the second half. And it's a huge difference. You know, I like I said, to come back from 16 to win that game, I think we won by 20 in the second half.
It was really a tale of two teams right there, though, in terms of Cal U and Cal U, to me. So Cal U in the first half was not that cutthroat team that we have seen that we could be. Like, to me, it seemed like in the second half, it was like, we don't care. We're just going to go and give it 100, you know, and be on point. And then the game just kind of worked itself out.
I think it always does. The energy is just different. You know, when you bring that energy on the defensive end, you start making shots. Like, it's just kind of a relief. You know, everybody's working together. And we brought it. And we beat a good team at home, which is always important. You know, those regional games are huge, because I think Fairmont's going to end really well in their conference.
Absolutely,
I think they're
no
gonna
doubt.
do well. I think that's going to end up being a big win for us.
Yep. And against the veteran team, those players have been there in that system, have done that, and have grown each and every year. And you know, we're working with a little bit of new pieces. Do you think it's starting to click for Cal U?
Yeah, I think it's just inconsistent at the moment, which is kind of expected, you know, when you have a lot of new people playing together. But I liked what Deja said a lot earlier in the segment. Everybody contributes something different. And even in the Fairmont game, like, you know, Sierra hit some threes, Nina hit some threes, but then Alicia had 13 rebounds. You know, someone else is diving on the floor for a loose ball. Alicia,
Yanni gets
had
a
good
big,
game.
yeah, and then Yanni gets a rebound at the end that, you know.
Yeah, it takes everybody. And I think this year's team, we have the pieces. It's just figuring out, you know, putting them all together all the time.
And working as one.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. And thoughts, you know, let's talk, you mentioned Nina with the threes. Kind of a breakout game for her in terms of just scoring. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it was huge for her. Confidence is really big for everyone, but especially for freshmen. I think they can go up and down in that. They haven't played a ton of games, so they can get real down or real high. But I think it was big. But to me, her assists are just as important because she needs to take care of the ball, get people the ball. Her defensive effort is always pretty on point. So, but I think for her, probably it was nice to have a breakout game with scoring.
Now, tell the viewers out there, what position do you think you're the most difficult on, hands down?
Yeah, it's not even close. I probably say her name 100 times a day.
Why do you think you have that? Like, is it because that was your position and you know how important it is, or did your coaches, like, where did you get that mentality that you're the most difficult? Not difficult, but
difficult.
Yeah. You're pretty tough on any point guard that comes through Cal U.
Yeah, no, I just think it's so important. Yeah, I think that position has to be the leader on the court. I think that position has to run our stuff offensively, defensively. I think that position has to be a great communicator.
And communicator with the team, and you during the game. There's a lot going on.
There is. So I just am very demanding of whoever that is at the moment. But typically when they get to be juniors or seniors, I leave them alone if they have gotten it. They need to be me on the court. If I was out there, I would hope that they would be
a coach on the floor.
Yeah, kind of saying the same things I would be saying. And we'll get there.
Yep. And speaking of great point guards, I want to give a special shout out to, obviously, we are very close with the Fairmont State coaches, both Cal U grads, Steph Michael, now Anderson, Mickey Glenn, both big time players for the Cal U program. I think that you have a lot of respect, obviously, for them as players, but even more so for them as coaches.
Yeah, no, I'm so proud of them. They have put together a really good program, in a short amount of time. And it's so cool to see them working together because they didn't play together.
Nope.
They were not here at the same time. So it's cool to see them believe in our system so much that they both, went there together and now they put it into play and they're doing a good job at it.
Yeah, you feel a lot of pride for that. Like I'm just even seeing them and watching them progress, being undefeated. Like you're really proud of their efforts, especially as young coaches too, getting after it.
Yeah, no, I hope they lose once, maybe twice if we play them again a year, but the rest of the time they can win.
Yep, absolutely. You're always pulling for that Cal U pride there. So let's go forward now. So we are done with, with Fairmont and now have PSAC crossover right before a break. A lot of coaches talk about this being a trap game, thoughts like trap games for everybody because sometimes the focus shifts away. It's getting ready to be break. Kids get a mandatory break, much needed break.
Yeah.
And how do you keep the focus on the focus?
I think we are just going to operate as normal. I think our leaders will do a good job of that. I think they'll do a really good job talking to their teammates about, this, let's do this first. And then, obviously the break's going to get here either way. You know what I mean? It's not like if we win, we get a break. If we lose, we don't get a break. It's coming, guys.
Yep.
But we got to focus on these two games because they're important. It's the PSAC.
Yeah, it's a PSAC crossover game. And here's the thing, and I know you feel this way. I know I feel this way. We've been on a losing end of a game before break, and you have to sit on that during the entire Christmas break. Everyone's happy, and it's a great time around the holidays, and you're sick to your stomach because you dropped one before the holidays. Talk to us about Shippensburg a little bit, what you're most looking forward to coming off the Fairmont game into Shippensburg.
I'm looking forward to us kind of keeping the momentum that we had in the second half of Fairmont. I think just getting after it the next couple of days in practice, focusing on things that we need to focus on, and then seeing that in a game. And I'm anxious to see if we can be consistent in that. I know we can do it.
We've seen it at practice.
Yeah, can we consistently do the things defensively we need to do to be a great team? I think we're a really good team. But to be great in championship level, can we do those things every possession?
Yep. And what do you think it does? Like, what do you need to be, like, would you say consistency is the number one thing to be a championship team? Like, give me your 3 points of what do you believe it takes to be a championship team, an elite team?
Oh, I think effort is always going to be number one. I mean,
you can't do anything
especially
without
with how we play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it for us, it's our effort. It's going to always be our effort.
Now, are you a firm believer in like hard work is just the expectation, and then that extra effort is what gets you there?
Yeah, for sure. Like there's no
cheering.
Yeah.
There's no cheering for showing up and doing
Like that's
going hard.
The expectation. It's going to be the extra stuff. It's going to be diving on the floor. It's going to be getting offensive rebounds. That's why we kind of praise those things a little bit more. You know, it's the things that maybe don't show up on the stat sheet. Like pressuring the ball is not a stat. But if we do that consistently, we will win.
Yep.
So, yeah, effort to me is number one. I guess being consistent. I think communication's huge, too.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yes. And have you noticed that teams go in waves with communication?
Always.
Why do you think that is?
Because
you're tired?
Yes. It's hard to communicate when you're tired. No one wants to talk when they're tired, out of breath.
I know.
It's
I don't
really
want to talk
hard.
when I'm tired. You know,
Yeah.
if you're making me doing a little exercise video and you say, "Good job," like we got to do this, I don't want to talk to you. Like I get it. Like you get it. But to do that, like to win, you have to.
Yeah, I just think it's doing the things that maybe other people aren't willing to do. That's what makes winners.
Absolutely. Jess, anything else you want to add? You know, like anything you want to add over the holidays? Any questions? Any comments? Like, you know what? Tell me something good today.
All right, what was your favorite part of the season so far?
Oh, I love opening weekend, the conference tournament for me, because I think when you practice when you have preseason and then you practice, to me, that's like you finally get to see, besides scrimmages, which I think are cool, but it really is not pressurized situation. Yeah. To me, everyone can play really hard in a scrimmage because there's nothing on the line. Like a win and loss in a scrimmage, yes, you want to win. Yes, you want to play hard, but there's not real pressure to win. So to me, the opening weekend when it's a regional game, I get really excited for. But to me, honestly, there's no game that I'm not fired up for. Honestly, as a coach, like just to be able to see, you know, where you've come and how you can put things together, like who pays attention to the scout, who knows what's going on. I like to see the growth, but I will say Tuesday, the first half was not fun for me. It was not enjoyable. I will say that. I'll be quite honest. I didn't like what I saw in the first half, but in the second half, I feel like when we won and we came through the locker room to talk to our players, I felt a sense of pride because I felt like they played tough. And to me, I wanted that in the first 2 quarters, but I'll take that last 2 because I don't think people understand how hard it is to come back from a 16-point deficit.
Yeah.
You got to scratch, you got to claw, you got to fight. And it requires probably more effort than most people can probably think about.
All right, I have another question.
Sure.
Who's your favorite player?
On our team?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't have a favorite player. I don't. But I will say that they all make me laugh in some, like, different way. Like, from freshman to senior, like, Deja's really lively and funny. Like, she'll come in, she can impersonate people really well. In fact, she impersonates me. I think it's quite funny. But then Macy, who is a freshman, who you wouldn't think would say a lot, comes in and says something, and it kills me. So I think they each bring something really unique to themselves, like, just so they're so drastically different. So I really can't pick someone who's my favorite, even though everybody would say, I get real mad at this. Everybody would say that Alicia Young is my favorite, but I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
Who's your favorite?
I don't have one. I love them all equally.
Same. All right. Well, what do you want from Santa? That's what we'll end on. What do you, if you're going to get a present from Santa this year, what would you want that present to be?
Does it have to be on Christmas?
It doesn't.
A national championship.
Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Santa, you heard it at the North Pole. If we keep working and if we keep putting the effort in and we have great attitudes, we have great effort, you would please give us a national championship. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think anything's given. It's all earned, right, Jess? You know that.
Yep.
We were just having some fun. Well, everybody, happy holidays to you. I don't know if we'll be back next week for this show, but if we don't see you, we hope you have a wonderful holiday. Stay safe. Keep supporting Cal U women's basketball. 2 huge games, Monday and Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. here at California, PA. And you can follow on calvulcans.com if you can't make it. So have a great one, and we'll see you soon.